AITA for destroying the family by demanding an apology from my red-pilled brother? For the past 8 years, I've hosted Christmas for my parents and younger sister. This year was different because my brother, who recently moved back to the US after living in Japan, joined us for the first time. My sister usually flies in from London for the holidays, so it was a rare gathering. A bit of background. Our family moved from the UK to the US when my brother and I were kids. I've embraced our life here, but my brother has become quite elitist. He believes that white men are disadvantaged by diversity and has made some outrageous comments, including that women shouldn't be allowed to vote. He often criticizes Americans, and it feels like he's stuck in a teenage phase that I've long outgrown. The incident happened on Christmas Day. After spending hours preparing a festive meal, I realized I'd forgotten the knives. I laughed it off and went to grab them, but my brother made a snide remark about lazy Americans. His comments struck a nerve. I had put so much effort into making the day special, and here he was, making rude jokes in my home. I asked him if he thought I was lazy for forgetting the knives, but he ignored me and repeated his joke. Frustrated, I snapped and used some harsh words. Everyone else seemed to pretend they hadn't heard me. The rest of the day felt awkward, but my sister did call him out later for his disrespectful comments. That evening, I spoke to my mother about my brother's remarks. Instead of listening, she doubled down, saying, "Well, Americans are lazy." It wasn't about whether Americans are lazy. It was about his disrespect towards me and my family. She then changed the subject to criticize my daughter's room, which felt like gaslighting. She even suggested I just needed a nap, framing me as the one overreacting. The next morning, I told my mother I expected an apology from my brother. She looked me in the eye and repeated her earlier comment about Americans. I was shocked and asked if she thought my husband and children were lazy too. She insisted they weren't part of the conversation. As they were leaving while I was in the shower, my husband, who believes in addressing issues head-on, stopped my brother to talk. My mother became very upset, crying and shouting that my husband was analyzing him and destroying the family. She tried to speak over my brother, while my husband calmly insisted he was only talking to him. My brother eventually apologized, and they left. Later, I texted my sister, who told me the car ride home was hellish, and they couldn't stop discussing what had happened. I feel like they'll never accept any fault unless I can explain everything in detail. My family has a history of avoiding tough conversations, and my mother seems more interested in keeping the peace than addressing my brother's behavior. So, am I the one in the wrong for not tolerating these comments? Was my husband out of line for wanting to have a respectful conversation?